All right, we're live. 15 out of 15 channels. They're good. There go the notifications. And they've done something really nice for Al Roker on TV, and my mom just cannot stop moaning and groaning about how beautiful of a touching scene it is there. You know, they love giving people like my mom these touching moments to where they just suck them in, you know, and they get them to believe everything they tell them, you know? And that's how they get you. She's in there wiping tears from her eyes, man, you know? And I see this indoctrination going on. I see this hypnotic spell they cast on my own mother, you know, and it's hard to watch. But you know, we got into a conversation this morning about Joe Biden, and you know, I had to state some facts to her, and she was in complete denial about them. And I'm like, well, they're just facts, Mom. You can't argue with them. They're actual facts. I mean, he literally said this. It's recorded. I mean, he is anti-abortion. Joe Biden is anti-abortion. He's a Catholic. He takes that more seriously than he does being the leader of the United States of America. He takes his religion and his God over you. His job is to look out for you. But you know, now he's just made that decision that his God and his belief system is more important. And that includes taking a woman's right away from her. And he's always said throughout his entire political career, he did not support Roe v. Wade. So there should be no question in anybody's mind why this president, Joe Biden, did absolutely nothing to codify Roe v. Wade and make it the law of the land. But then you got to go and ask yourself, well, why the fuck? Hey, J-Bone, why the fuck didn't Barack Obama codify Roe v. Wade when that was his promise as president to be vote for me, and on day one I will codify Roe v. Wade. That's what Barack Obama said. 8 years later, didn't codify it. Bill Clinton didn't codify it. Barack Obama didn't codify it. Joe Biden did not codify Roe v. Wade. And you know, there's no question as to why Joe Biden didn't do it. But Barack Obama, you gotta wonder why. What was the motivation behind that? Well, it's a really simple answer. You ready? So every time there's an election, Democrats run on abortion. They run on Roe v. Wade, and they say, we're going to support a woman's right to choose. That's the law of the land. And if you vote for us, you won't ever have to worry about that being taken away from you. Well, guess who's in charge right now? The Democrats. And guess what they've done? They've taken that right away while the Democrats are in power. Yeah, nay, but why? Why? It doesn't make sense to us. Okay. The Democrats run on the platform, the Republicans are bad, okay, they're pro-life, okay, the Democrats are good, we're pro-abortion, we're pro-women's rights, right? If they were to solidify that, if they were to codify Roe v. Wade, they would have nothing to run on, because then you would find out that the Democratic platform is identical to the Republican platform, except for abortion. Otherwise, they're running right alongside each other, as proven by that chart. Remember that that Tucker Carlson put up, and I don't like Tucker Carlson, or was it Tim Pool? Tim Pool put up that chart and showed that Republicans and the Democrats, they run right alongside each other as far as what their policies are, and they don't change. They both support corporate greed, corporate welfare, war in other countries, American imperialism, taking your voices away from you, lying to you, both parties. So when I really got down into the nitty gritty with my mom, I go, so Mom, what's the difference? Really, what is the real difference between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders is what we were talking about. And she said, I knew that Joe Biden could win. And I was convinced that Bernie Sanders could not win, and I wanted to get rid of Donald Trump. Period. Full stop. End of sentence. That was it. And I go, Mom, I wish I could have recorded you saying that, because that is exactly what the Democrats want you to believe. Exactly what you said. That is their running platform. No more Donald Trump, so vote for us. But nothing fundamentally will change. Well, I would say some things have changed fundamentally now, huh? So that's your little something to think about this morning. I want you guys to think about that. And I want you to think about that long and hard, because there's no reason for you to not understand why things are the way they are today. You know, you really should at least know. I know a lot of people come in here and say, oh, politics, you know, Enoch, oh, I don't like politics, blah, blah, blah. Hey, man, it's about knowing what's going on around you. Say you have a daughter. I don't know if Enoch does, or a wife, or a girlfriend, or a mom, or an aunt, or somebody that needs an abortion. Do you support that? Do you support them? Do you care about them? Well, then, you know, maybe what's going on in the world is something that you should pay a little bit more attention to. Exactly. The Hill House Hobo. Exactly. The Democrats. At least we're not the orange asshole. Well, you're not orange. You're just the blue asshole. You still lie. You've created a ministry of truth. You haven't codified Roe v. Wade. You haven't given us Medicare for all. You have not forgiven student loan debt. Right? You haven't raised the minimum wage. You haven't done anything. And you've got the presidency, the Senate, and the House, and you haven't done anything. But at least we're not, you know, at least we don't have to deal with Trump. Hey, man, I agree. I agree. If both sides are exactly the same, then I'm going to go blue, because I hate fucking Donald Trump. But I'm being serious. I'm serious. I really hate him that much. That if both sides are identical, well, then I'm going to go the blue, because I hate fucking Donald Trump. Always have. You picked a loser for me. For me. You know, my mom promises me he's going to win next time. She goes, it's going to be Trump and he's going to win again. And I'm like, I don't know. I think it might be DeSantis. You know, Donald Trump's got a lot of problems in between now and the election coming up in 3 years or 2 years. He's got a lot of problems to sort out, legal problems. And, you know, he might not be the Teflon Don when they're done with him. Great. Get rid of him. I'm perfectly fine with that. I need a shake and go. This cat is about to drive me freaking crazy. Harley, don't do it. Don't do it. He listened to me. The cat listened to me. Yeah. He's like, okay, I'll go bother mom. That's the way my mom talks to me. Don't do it. So, I want you guys to pay attention to something that Brian Stelter said about Google. Okay, it's really important. Because he thinks that this whole ministry of truth from the Biden administration is a great idea. Look at the hypocrisy. What would Brian Stelter have said if Donald Trump started his own ministry of truth? Would he appreciate it then? And these dumbass Democrats never think for 1 second that you're not always going to be in power. So when you pass all these overreaching laws and policies, you're not going to be the ones at the reins next go around, you idiots. There's a reason those laws were never written. There's a reason there was never a ministry of truth, because one side can't trust the other. So and the government's always been found to be a fucking liar. You know, my mom hears me say that. She's going to be pissed. She hates when I say that shit. She really thinks the government can do no wrong. She really thinks all they want to do is look out for our best interest. It's horrible. It's horrible. They've got her fooled, you know, and she doesn't care. She's like, my life's almost over. I don't care. She's like, it doesn't concern me anymore. I've lived my life. It's horrible, man. People really feel that way. And you can thank the Democrats for rubbing a lot of people like me, not necessarily her, but like me, for rubbing people off, rubbing us off the wrong way. That we're just tired of your lies and your bullshit, your hypocrisy, your misinformation. Now, let me just set this up really quick. For years, Cenk Uygur has attacked Jimmy Dore, claiming that he's a Republican because he attacks Democrats. Well, this morning, Cenk Uygur put up a tweet saying, I don't understand why people are calling me a Republican because I don't go along with what the Biden administration is doing. Oh, isn't that the pot calling the kettle Republican, Cenk? Hey, Sean, what's up, buddy? Anyway, let's listen to Brian Stelter for a second, okay? I want you guys to check this out.
That means emergency services like FEMA. They've all been doing counter disinformation efforts for a while to give us accurate information about
the government. Do you hear her? The government is the one giving us accurate information. She's saying that the government is the one that has been combating disinformation and giving us information, accurate. That's what she's saying.
Did you notice he goes,
hey,
well, I mean, people don't really know what it is. Well, yeah, that's because it was real vague when they
that's right.
They didn't really say what exactly this information is. Also, what she just described isn't easing my fears. Oh, it's just coordinating law enforcement. What are the cops going to pull you over to give you the right information? Or what's the,
Hey, what? You know why I pulled you over? No. I understand you read some tweets that had some incorrect COVID information.
Slowski, what's up, buddy?
And we'd like to correct that for you here.
Okay, good New York accent.
Human rights abuses, but also about disasters and where people can get assistance.
She said the
human rights abuses and disasters. Oh, not direct people about COVID and masks and vaccines and mandates and things like that. You know, or election fraud claims or things like that. No. She doesn't mention any of those things. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? And that's exactly what it's about. Look, hey man, I didn't like the fact that there were millions of Republicans running around that saying stop the steal and the election was a fraud. I didn't like it. But at the same time, I supported all those assholes in saying whatever truths they wanted to, that they thought was true to them, whatever their truths were, even though I knew it wasn't true myself. Because that's free speech, man. You know, and this woman right here, she couldn't take it. You know, she couldn't take all these Republicans claiming, stop the steal and the election was stolen, whatever. She can't handle free speech. There's a lot of people out there who can't handle free speech. The Democrats are one of them.
Is giving you accurate information about human rights abuses.
Oh yeah,
that's what
the government that abuses and murders people all over the planet. 6 million people we've murdered with American imperialism and the war on drugs and all the bullshit we've done. War on terror. 6 million people have died. And those are the people who are going to tell us about injustices, done to people, the ones who commit it. It's like a police agency investigating their own officers for crimes. It's hilarious.
The government.
Sean, thank you. I only wish this, bro. I only wish that more people were like you, agreed with me, and would show up to this show and would come here and support me. And I would love to speak about this stuff at length, ad nauseum, whatever, for y'all. Sit here and get high and have this conversation with intelligent folks that want to listen. It's unbelievable to me how many people just walk out of this broadcast as soon as I start making really good sense. Because the people that actually have the intelligence to track what I'm saying, they won't show up here, man.
They told me the truth about, I don't know, Yemen, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, Guantanamo.
All the prisons here. Just even like stuff they do here.
Yeah. How about our prison industrial complex here?
How about prisonplanet.com?
Coordinating that activity, making it speak with one voice, and being a stronger advocate to tech companies and engaging the public and academia. That's really what they're after.
Well, that sounds like common sense. But when I Googled it.
Okay. He says, that sounds like common sense. That's what that douchebag just said. That sounds like common sense. What, controlling the narrative, having a ministry of truth? That sounds like common sense to you, you bald fat fuck.
So Steph has a joke on this show where she says it's called common sense censorship. He just said it. Do you see how hard it is to parody these people?
Do you know what's
they
funny?
say the jokes themselves.
I heard Steph say common sense censorship on the show about 2-3 weeks ago. And I was like, what is she talking about? I just heard a blurb. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. She flipped her shit. Common sense censorship. It's a joke. And I missed the joke.
So now what joke is there left to make? He just said it sounds like common sense.
They are the joke.
Yeah, that the government is the purveyor of accurate information
Just wait, it's
about
coming,
human
guys.
rights
Wait.
abuses.
Here it comes.
They're the ones who commit human rights abuses, you fuckface. And he knows that. But again, that's why he got hired.
Exactly.
That's why he has that job.
'Cause he'll
Because he's
protect-
willing to say that stuff.
Yes. They'll protect the
Because either
elites.
he's that corrupted easily by the six-figure income, or he's that dumb. Common sense censorship. You can't parody these
You
people.
cannot parody them. He's right.
All I see is like Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth, and they're going to see, there's this incredible backlash.
So right now, Jimmy fast forwarded over him saying, well, I checked it out on Google. You didn't get to hear him say that. But he does. He says, and they're going to play this again later. He goes, oh, when I pull it up on Google, all I see are people saying, oh, Ministry of Truth. Here, listen to Brian Stelter. Right now he's talking about the Google search.
Common sense censorship. You can't parody these people.
Right here.
All I see is like Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth, and they're going to see, there's this incredible backlash to something that sounds like basic government bureaucracy.
It is.
So that sounds like basic government bureaucracy. It's just basic government bureaucracy. Us wanting to control the narrative, us having a ministry of truth. That's just basic, isn't it? No, that's basic for dictators, bro. That's basic for, the Nazis. That's who that's basic for, you idiot. He's not happy that when he searched what's going on with this administration, with the Biden, this new bureau, this new board that they've created, he's upset that when you search it on Google, it comes up with a lot of negativity from a lot of people like me and Jimmy Dore and everybody on Twitter, every single human being on the planet that ever read 1984 and understood it and knew that they didn't want to live that reality, understands that this is poor leadership at its worst. Everybody that is, except for CNN and Brian Stelter and Google, well, not Google, I'm sorry, Google actually leads you in the right direction. And this woman, am I using better words, guys? This woman that comes on CNN and pontificates for the government how fantastic this Ministry of Truth is for you. That they're just going to bring you truthful information about important things. That's all this is. It's like state-run news brought to you by the United States federal government. It's like straight out of North Korea, man. This is the narrative. This is the truth. And you can't have it any other way. And if you try to have it another way, we're going to put you in prison for it. We're going to definitely take your social media accounts away.
The government bureaucracy and around.
Oh, that's great.
Bureaucracy.
Oh,
Now, for those of you who don't know what bureaucracy is when policies are put forth in a country by non-elected government officials who are in power. That's bureaucracy. In other words, the people don't vote for bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is once the people get in power and they start making decisions for us. That's what bureaucracy is. And Stelter says to her, well, it just sounds like regular government bureaucracy, which is a bad thing. And she's like, oh, it is government bureaucracy, like it's a good thing. They're psychotic. They're using the word bureaucracy thinking that it's a positive word. It's like, did you look up the word bureaucracy before you started shooting your fat mouths off about it?
all I see is like Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth, and they're going to steal. There's this incredible backlash.
They're going to stay. Yeah, they're going to stay. He doesn't want to say because as soon as he realized what he was going to say, he realized that it went against his whole narrative. Whatever it was he was going to say, he stopped himself because they're going to say that, you know, what, Brian? What, Brian? What were you going to say, Brian? That you cut yourself off. You guys want to hear him cut himself off one more time? I think this is priceless. He can't even finish his own sentence.
All I see is like Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth, and they're going to steal. There's this.
They're going to steal. They're going to. I almost said it. I almost said the words that I shouldn't say. That will really clarify this for the people that we brainwash every day. They're going to start catching on that we're supporting silencing everybody that we disagree with. Bureaucracy is forced upon the American people against their wishes. Bureaucracy, it is not forced or done with the consent of the people. Correct. That is what a bureaucracy is. Not with the consent of the people. It's all scripts for brainwashing the ignorant. Exactly, Zena. I wish you'd show up more to my show. Thank you.
Backlash to something that sounds like basic government bureaucracy.
It is basic government.
Basic government bureaucracy. Basic government bureaucracy. Like it's positive. Basic government bureaucracy. Now listen to Jimmy talk about bureaucracy here for a second. And cheers.
Bureaucracy and around.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
Oh, they're taking my shoes off the airport of speech. Finally.
Yeah. Oh, so this is just basic government bureaucracy, which has the effect of taking away my First Amendment rights on a social media platform. That's all.
It's like when people badmouth Adolf Eichmann. He was just bureaucracy.
It's bureaucracy.
He was just planning the train routes.
Yeah.
What we're asking for governments to do is to step up more and to play a bigger role in advocating for people.
So do you
Well, I'm
see
glad
how
you're
they
back.
make censorships? Do you see when you have to dress up censorship? She just called it governments have to play a bigger role in advocating
So
for
tasty.
people.
So
What she
tasty.
means is by censoring people's speech. That's how you advocate. That's what she's talking about. She's not talking about actually advocating for people to get health care or advocating for people to get education or a living wage or clean water. She's saying we're going to advocate for people by shutting people's opinions up and getting them off of social media. So don't let
Look, I don't care if what you're saying is factual, it's a lie, you made it up, you've got a narrative. I don't care. They're your words and you're entitled to them no matter what I think about what you say. There should be no government agency that determines that for us. We've always had free speech here, and this is the first step to take us away from having free speech. Probably not the first step. It's not the first step. This is a huge step in that direction. We've had lots of steps already. We could go through the list. I don't want to, but just banning us on social media, not allowing children to speak to their teachers about sexual questions because their parents are not doing their fucking job. Let's see. What are other ways the government has been silencing us? Well, gerrymandering districts, everybody does that. That silences, entire cities, telling us that this war in Ukraine is Putin. It's all Putin that did it, and that we have nothing to do with it. And so many more lies. We're not committing atrocities around the world with American imperialism. There's so many more. I mean, we could just draw up a list of the fucking lies. And this woman, this person over here, I don't even want to see it, let's say it like that, because I don't want people to think I'm sexist. This person right here in the purple, her sole job is to sit here and try to convince all of us that a ministry of truth is a good idea and that the government is perfectly fit to fill that need. The United States government that lies.
For her bullshit, slippery, garbage propaganda, which is what this is.
Thank you, Jimmy.
This should be censored. You want to censor something? How about this kind of fucking book?
No, Jimmy, that's where you make a mistake. Oh, no, Jimmy, no. That's where you go wrong, Jimmy. Look at the smug look on Jimmy's face as he's saying this. No, Jimmy, okay? No, I'm here to rein you in, okay? That's my job. I am your jockey, bro, and I'm going to rein you in. Okay? So let's just not ask to have other people silenced while we're complaining that they're silencing other people. Okay? Let's not do that, Jimmy. Okay? It's just complete hypocrisy. Doesn't make sense. Someone should rein you in right now on that show. I'm looking at you, Steph Zamorano. I'm looking at you, Kurt Metzger. I'm looking at you, producer in Jimmy's ear. I don't think he's got a producer in his ear.
Because that's what this is. She's a bullshitter, a fucking authoritarian, and that guy's a bootlicker who will fucking do the bidding of anybody who's paying him. And those.
And you know what, Jimmy, I couldn't have said that any better myself. Now, I disagree with you on silencing those people. Let them talk. Then now you've got the right to say how you feel, and I choose to listen to you, Jimmy. This is how this works. This is how the whole First Amendment thing works. And I know that I don't have to explain this to you. I just think you had a momentary lapse, just you forgot for a second that they deserve free speech too. Even the people you completely hate and disagree with. That's why I play Ben Shapiro on here. That's why I play Tucker Carlson on here. You know, I know it hurts to say those words, but man, sometimes they're going to say something I agree with. And you say a lot of things I agree with, Jimmy, but trying to silence her because you disagree with this, well, now you've gone too far, and I would hope that your entire audience understands that and will hold you accountable, not stop watching your show, but just point it out to you, like I'm doing right now, and continue to support you, because we love you, Jimmy.
You want to start censoring, you should start with these two fuckers right here at CNN.
That's just common sense.
That's just common sense. Sounds like common sense censorship. Go ahead, Kurt.
Like people, so it's weird to specify people, like who else would you be helping? Like it sounds like we just make sure we help
John, what's up, buddy?
It's not the unperson. Anybody that we unperson.
That's right.
21 years.
The gates of hell, you might have heard earlier. Right?
Yeah.
They will remain outside of the
I've
gates of hell.
never been
The
to
people.
jury duty.
Litmus test is civil society
Well, I've
included,
been
is
to
the media
court
included, and so
and
far everything we've heard about the board, which is new and just started,
Right.
shows us that is the intention, is to be fully transparent and to do.
They're going to be, they're the Department of Disinformation. They're going to be fully transparent. They're here. You listen to these people. They're talking about the fucking
They're not going to be fully transparent.
government. They're talking about the government as if they're some kind of Boy Scout organization instead of what they
Department
are.
of Homeland Security.
No law regarding
DHS.
disagreeing with people, guys. No law
The
regarding
Department of
disagreeing with
Homeland
people.
Security, it's
No
South Orwellian
agency
already.
regarding disagreeing with people. Okay? Yeah, I don't care if you're lying or not. You're allowed to lie. There's no law that says you're not allowed to tell a lie. Hey, honey, you look beautiful in
No,
that
there's a
dress.
reason why you're
It
supposed to
doesn't
have
make you look fat.
journalists, because
You're
the
allowed to
government
do
is
that.
lying.
Cheers.
Who's on the board? She's like, they're including a lot of great people. Where's Brian Stelter on it? Because otherwise, I don't trust it.
And more from our government in terms of how they protect us from disinformation. And
I don't need my government to protect me from disinformation.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Jimmy put this up before I did. I didn't see it. And I said the exact same words. When that woman said what she said, and I'm telling you, I didn't see this Jimmy Dore upload until this morning. But I had seen the video of Brian Stelter and that woman. So I grabbed the video and I put it on Twitter and I said exactly what Jimmy just said. We don't need protection against false information, misinformation, disinformation, straight out lying. We don't need your protection from it. Okay? Your protection from it is your choice to come listen to somebody like me, somebody like Jimmy, someone like Lee Camp, someone like Jackson Hinkle, someone like Ben Shapiro, if that guy works for you, or you know, douchebag Tucker Carlson, you know, whoever you speaks your truth to you. Hey man, you have all of the freedom to go listen to those people. And that is all the protection you need against all the people that choose to lie to you, because so many people are fucking lying. Independent Left Out News, what's up, buddy?
Don't need it. I don't buy government to protect me from disinformation.
They're including a lot of great people. Where's Brian Stelter on it? Because otherwise, I don't trust it.
And more from our government in terms of how they protect us from disinformation. And
There should be no such thing as protecting you from disinformation. The information is available. They make it available to you. They don't protect you. You know, if they want to print stuff out and say, hey man, these are some studies that we've done, this is the facts, blah, 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 great, that's fine. You don't get to determine who the liars are and then go after them and lock them up in prison. You retweeted my pinned tweet. The one about Jimmy Dore, or the one about Lee Camp and Jackson Hinkle. Thank you for retweeting my pinned tweet, Indy. Thank you so much. I mean, I know I make a big deal about it, and it shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to do that, man, but it is a big deal because nobody does it. But you did it, and thank you. You know, I wish more people would go to Twitter and do that shit, bro. Thank you.
I don't need my government to protect me from disinformation. Don't need it. I don't need the government to pre-read shit that I'm going to read on Facebook or Twitter
And persecute
make sure
people they
it's
disagree
safe.
with over it.
Am I going to cut off funding to Ukraine? Why would it matter? I don't
Right?
like.
Why would it matter? So what she's saying is that she wants the government to do more in protecting us from disinformation, which means you pre-reading what you read and censoring it for you so it's safe for you. That's what that means. Holy shit, that's not America.
No, that's not
That's
America.
the opposite of what this country was based on.
Exactly.
This country is based on everybody gets to say whatever they want in the town square.
You know, there's
And
people
social media
in the
is the
UK who have come into this show when I've been live and said, Nay, if you'd say something like that in the UK, you'd go to fucking jail, bro. And I'm like, yeah, doesn't that suck? And they're like, yeah, it sucks, bro. You guys are loving it in the United States. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Just about, man. So we can say a lot more here. And we love that. You know, I would love to not have to worry about the wording of things when I'm putting them up on the internet and whatever. It sounds like Elon Musk on Twitter is going to be a good thing. I'm looking forward to the day when I say, yeah, if I was an Uber driver or a Lyft driver and Ted Cruz and another Republican hopped into the backseat of my Uber, what would I do? I would find a very, very, very high cliff and drive off it and take one for the team. That's humanity. That's what I said. And I got banned from Twitter for 12 hours for saying that. That was a joke. It was said in jest. It wasn't. And then you know what they told me? They told me that I was being suicidal. And I said, your algorithms can't discern when someone is saying something tongue-in-cheek, when someone is making a joke, or when someone is literally doing a credible threat of committing suicide. And you punished me for 12 hours, and you forced me to admit that I was suicidal. And you gave me a bunch of phone numbers to call for help. And still took my account away for 12 hours. You motherfuckers. The biggest purveyors of misinformation of the United States government, the United States military, and major corporations. The biggest purveyors of misinformation are the United States government, the United States military, and major corporations. Hey, purveyors of misinformation. What about religions, bro? You left religions off that. How do you think all those people got indoctrinated into being comfortable with being lied to? hey, Santa's going to come down the chimney. He's going to bring you some gifts. The Easter Bunny's going to lay some eggs for you. Is there an Easter Bunny? Yeah, kids, there's an Easter Bunny. Well, little Timmy at school said there's not an Easter Bunny. He's Jewish. He said there's no Easter Bunny. No, his parents are Jews. There's something wrong with those people. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt. The Easter Bunny's going to come out and hide a bunch of eggs for you guys. And then you guys are going to go find all the eggs. You're going to eat a bunch of chocolate. Chocolate? Yeah. Okay, Easter Bunny. All of you. You forgot the biggest. Dude, that's the one that gets you in. Religion's the one that gets you in. And then we wonder why everybody just loves to be lied to. It's like they're being cradled like a little wee baby. A wee baby. It's like they're being cradled like a wee baby. They're so pacified by being lied to. Look what Donald Trump was able to do to America. How many Americans appreciated being lied to every day by their dear leader? I used to not be okay with that, but you know what I figured out? I have to be okay with it because that's the way it is. I can't change it. No, just own that shit. Own. You gotta own that shit. You gotta own that shit. What'd you say? Own that shit? No, you gotta own that shit. Own. Okay, what is all of this chatty chattertons going on in the chat? I love it. So just, does this mean that there's no leprechaun at the end of the rainbow with a pot of gold? Fuck, I've been wasting my time all these years looking. I was the Jewish kid, says Indy Left Out News. At least it's starting to fade. I think only 30% of the millennials are religious. That's good. That's good. 30%. That's good. You know, religion is a dying thing, man. We need to learn to love each other and hang out with each other, community, without religion. You know, right here in my neighborhood, it's kind of like that. There's a whole group of people. They all get together on Sundays down at the Springs. They cook out. They have conversations, and you know, if there's anything, sometimes something comes up. Somebody will say something, I got this going on or whatever, and someone else will be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I might be able to help out in this way or that way. Let me give you an example. Well, I was walking down there, and I was walking to my truck, and I saw this case. It was a camouflage case. It was like, you know, camouflage pattern, green and black and brown. And it was sitting on an electric thing that was sitting on someone's fence, but it was outside their fence line. It was in the common walkway area. And I saw it sitting there, and I thought, well, somebody may have just set it there momentarily, and they'll probably be back for it. That night, no, I'm sorry, not that night. A couple hours later, I was back down at the Springs. And I remembered that case was sitting there, you know? And I just, while everybody was standing around, I go, hey, did anybody lose like a little small camouflage case? Little carry case? And my friend Ryan, she goes, oh my God, where is it? What, did you find it? And I didn't say anything. I just turned around and walked away. And she's like, where are you going? And everyone's like, yo, Nate, where are you going? They don't call me Nate. They're like, yo, where are you going? And I'm like, just totally ignored them and just walked like a soldier. And I walked like 200 feet away. I went over a bridge, over a river, over a bridge, right? And I made a right, and I went to the corner of that lot that was right there facing where they were sitting. And I grabbed the case. They couldn't see me. And I came back across the bridge, and I had that fucker in my hand. And they were like, where did that come from? Where did you find it? And I'm like, I just saw it sitting on an electrical box. And I made a note. I made a mental note of it. I'm like, you know, and I just thought, you know, maybe somebody would know whose it was. About a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I was down at the Springs and I got introduced to this super sweet couple. They're fucking awesome. Ryan and these two, they're all hanging out together down at the Springs. And these two just kind of, you know, off on the side, they like to dance. They like to dance. It's the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen. They've got a little Bluetooth speaker. And they set it up on the fucking picnic table. And they play music really quietly. And they just sit there and talk and dance together. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking, you know, dance club fucking fever out on the Springs, man. And they're like, hey, you wanna go smoke? And I'm like, yeah. So we go back in the woods and we all smoke together. And we've been doing this for over a month, you know. Almost every Sunday we go back there and we hang out. And we all get high, and then, you know, my other friends are like, you want to get high, bro? And I'm like, yeah, well, I'll go get high. And then maybe someone else want to get high, well, I'll go get high. And I'm just getting high the whole time I'm down there. And it turns out that case belonged to that couple. And we ended up getting high out of one of the bowls that was in that case. There were bowls in there and a lighter, which I didn't know. I didn't know what was in the case. But it's funny is that as many times as I had seen that case, I didn't recognize it. Because I had seen that case. They broke it out before. We got high with it. I just wasn't really focusing on it, you know? It was funny that it just didn't occur to me whose it was. I should have known. But, dude, I wish I had a video of them dancing on the beach. You know, I wish I had a video of that, like just chilling. You guys would just get such a kick out of that. If Docky Hollandaise or Daphne Hollandaise were here, where are the Hollandaises? Where's the Hollandaises? They're like the only people on the show right now who could attest to the dancing couple. Shows you were honest, though. Dude, what am I going to do? I mean, I found this and tracked down the owner. You know, I'm not a thief. That's for sure. So I can't believe it's a 5150 bond. You know, I can't believe him and I both own 5150 bonds. I lost my 5150 bond. It's got to be in the warehouse. Yeah, well, this is the thing, man. That case sat on that electrical box in that very visible place where a lot of people walk by for an entire week. And no one saw it. No one grabbed it, I should say. It was in a very visible spot. But no one grabbed it, no one took it. The couple sounds like a relationship goal for me. Yeah, right? It is. Me too, I agree. It's the cutest fucking thing you ever saw in your entire life. I swear to God. It is so fucking cute. 5150 is your favorite Van Halen album? Well, I'll smoke to that. Out of the 5150 bong. What do you say? Cheers. Am I going to get anything else out of this lighter, I wonder? I'm down to 186 pounds. I lost 1.5 pounds. How tall am I? 5'9". Dude, Kurt Metzger is almost 6'4". Can you imagine? What?
I don't know what this is.
No, it's dog food.
Why is it over here?
Because it was in the drain and I emptied the drain out. I wanted to
Should I
let
throw
it.
it away?
Yes, please. Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Square, which is why it should be looked at as a utility. Just like the phone company. You can't turn off someone's phone because you don't like the shit they're saying in their conversations.
I love how much he
Same thing with
curses now.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You shouldn't be able to deplatform somebody because you don't like what they're saying. If they're not breaking a law, you shouldn't be able to take their free speech away. What they're saying is we don't want anybody to have free speech, and we want unelected bureaucrats to be controlling what you get to say. Why? Because we've lost control of the people in the narrative, because people's lives are so horrible now in the richest country in the world that we only have narrative control.
Enable us to have information that protects our country and advances our ability to survive in a major incident, for instance.
You hear Brian? Yeah.
He's such it's like, even not the wealth disparity, which is a big thing. Plenty of people all around the world would rather be broke than not be able to talk. Like, I'd rather live in the street than be Trevor Noah. I really would. I'd rather be a homeless guy than Trevor Noah, because it's such a craven, awful way to live. And such you have to be like a Brian Stelter inside to live that way.
Yeah, a dead, empty, willing lemming. So I want to play this whole thing all the way through without stopping. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we don't cringe so hard.
Here in the U.S., there's been an uproar in recent days about the Department of Homeland Security setting up what they call a disinformation governance board. This has been mostly a Fox World story. It could come up later today on CNN State of the Union. But I don't think people know what it is and what it isn't. And there's just been a lot of right-wing uproar without knowing what it is. So are you aware of this at all? What is this all about?
Aware of
What are people doing being skeptical of the fucking department of telling you what to say and shit?
We failed the Stelter challenge already.
I know.
There's no getting through it. He's that much of it.
I know.
And I think the first thing is that it's a board, exactly as we say. It is meant to bring together people to coordinate a lot of the efforts inside of DHS. That means law enforcement. That means emergency services like FEMA. They've all been doing counter disinformation efforts for a while to give us accurate information about human rights abuses, but also about disasters and where people can get assistance. So coordinating that activity, making it speak with one voice, and being a stronger advocate to tech companies and engaging the public and academia, that's really what they're after.
Well, that sounds like common sense.
Common
But
sense.
when I Google this,
Ooh.
all I see is like Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth, and they're going to steal. There's this incredible back.
There it is, right there. When I Google it, it takes me to Fox. It doesn't take me to me. And I don't like it. And we need a Ministry of Truth so that when people Google it, it comes to me and not Fox News. Period.
To something that sounds like basic government bureaucracy.
It is basic government bureaucracy. And around the world, what we're asking for governments to do is to step up more and to play a
bureaucracy.
bigger role in advocating for people. The big litmus
mom,
test
she's
is
gonna be
civil society
pissed.
included? Is the media included? And so far, everything we've heard about the
She's
board, which is
pissed.
new and
I knew it.
started,
Just can't get around.
shows us that that
You
is the
can move the
intention
chair.
to be fully
No,
transparent
your mother.
and to demand more from our government in terms of how they protect us from disinformation
She
and
can't
enable
water her
us to have
plants 'cause my
information that
antenna's in
protects
the
our
way.
country and advances our ability to survive in a
There's the
major
wall
incident.
all the way around the table.
Mm.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, right.
I'm
So
sorry.
we've gone from the framers of the Constitution to the framers of the narrative. And that's what this is. And they keep saying protect. We're going to protect. The government needs to step up and protect. You know what? Who says that? Dictators say that. That's why we're censoring a bad outside information to protect you. These people are liars and propagandists, and they want to infect your mind. That's exactly what Kim Jong-un says. That's why they have censorship there. That's what they say in China.
No.
That's why they have censorship there. But these people want the exact.
He did make the mistake of saying that they should censor the very people that he's saying are complaining, that they want to have a censorship bureau. And he said, these are the people that need to be silenced. And I go, well, see, that's exactly wrong. We all just have to have a voice. And you have to just be the loudest voice in the room, if you think you're telling the truth.
Same thing they have in China. They want the government to control the flow of information. Literally.
Scientology teaches people just not to go on the internet. That's how they do it.
Really?
Yeah. This sounds like a church. It's like, I always get flashbacks of guard your heart, because the devil wants to, you have to not even look at a thing that might stumble your faith.
You want to see the guy who's you want this guy to be in charge of what you can say and what you can't say on the internet? This is the head of the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security. You want that guy to be in charge of what you can say about the fucking government or the Ukraine war or the vaccine or the lockdowns? You want that guy to be in charge of who can say what? Because that's who's in charge.
Efforts underway to equip local communities to identify individuals who very well could be descending into violence by reason of ideologies of hate.
So do you hear what he's saying? We're going to be helping local authorities find people who haven't committed violence, but might. That's called a thought crime.
What's even more galling about this is if you think of any of those shootings and stuff, like Parkland was the big one that was heard about. There's a few others, I think Virginia Tech, where the authorities were contacted. It wasn't a surprise that the people did it. The authorities say, hey, this guy says he's going to do a crazy thing.
Right.
Flat out report the FBI while they were dicking around with their weird entrapment things to get more funding. The Boston Marathon bombers, another one somebody reported, didn't do anything about it. So now you're going to take that to what? Just tweets where that's unbelievable.
So now instead of them doing, because they failed at regular police work, now they want to censor everybody because they can't do regular police work. That's what the point you're making. Do you want that guy to be the guy? This guy? This is the guy. This is the guy who's in charge.
We have so many different efforts under.
He sounds like a cartoon villain. We have so many efforts underway to find people who might do violence and get them removed from society.
It sounds like Carvel, the Cookie Puss.
Oh, yeah.
There's some Cookie Pusses.
We have so many different efforts underway to equip local communities to identify individuals who very well could be descending into violence by reason of ideologies of hate, false narratives, or other disinformation and misinformation propagated.
Dye his hair once
So anything, any ideology they don't like, any kind of information that they don't like,
that's
they
not
call
nice.
it disinformation, and then you're a non-person anymore. Then they'll take down all your videos, they'll take you off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's what he's saying. Because this person was dangerous and spreading misinformation that could lead to violence.
What if my ideology is I hate Trump? Is that okay? Which hates am I allowed to have?
That hate is okay.
I hate Putin, and I wish he was dead.
That won't be taken down. And you can love Nazis in Ukraine. That's okay now on Facebook. So it's going to be that guy in charge of it and this woman. Those are the two people who are going to be involved. So these are the people, the disinformation governance board.
So creepy, that one.
Holy shit.
Look at the face she's making.
Yeah.
She wants to be the person in charge of what the truth is.
Lobotomizes.
Okay. There you go. Great work, CNN.
So I'd love to see how you guys feel about, in the chat, if you want to just express how you feel about this new board of truth being, you know, created by the United States federal government. And if you guys are comfortable with that, if you're okay with that, you know, I'm not. And Mom, Billy Ballantyne says he's sorry.
Says he's sorry?
Yeah.
He doesn't owe me an apology.
She says you don't owe her an apology. Tell Jimmy I'm not, and he even lies about his hair. He can't lie about his hair, can he? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, people see him every day.
Wonder why no one watches. I bet you there's going to be more views on this video about Brian Stelter saying that shit than actually watched him say that. You know that's true. And he's in every goddamn airport in America. We're doing live stand-up shows.
Same thing the Nazis did. Yes, the Nazis had a ministry of truth. Yes. I don't know if my mom's aware of that. I told her, I think almost every administration that is for a dictatorship of any kind is they've got a ministry of truth. They've got some sort of a agency who controls the narrative, determines when someone is going against the narrative, and has the power to punish those people. That is psychotic. It's a whole new set of laws that don't even fucking exist, that go against the First Amendment. Think about it. You know, this completely goes against free speech. And Russia's doing it as well right now. Oh man, Russia's always done this. They've always had control of the narrative. They'll pull you out of your home if they don't like what you've been saying out in the street, what you've been putting on the internet. You know, they don't like the religion that you're practicing, they'll pull you out of your home and throw you in frickin' prison, bro. You know, there's plenty of other countries that do that. Usually it's some sort of a dictatorship. You know, North Korea, China. China. You got China. China might not have a ministry of truth. China. North Korea does, though, I guarantee you. And there's probably other forms of it, but when the most powerful nation in the world forms one, that's when you should really be taking notice. Because that's a lot of power, all on that person that he showed. He showed a person on there that's going to be in charge of all of it. And that person is 33 years old and obnoxious. More obnoxious than me. If you can even imagine that. That's going to be the person in charge of all of it. Tucker says violence is already beginning. Liberal Gutfeld. They always show me a bunch of Fox stuff after they show me Jimmy Dore. Isn't that funny? After I watch Jimmy Dore, it's the next recommended shit is all Fox News shit. Gutfeld, liberal groups call for Twitter boycott. Oh, why? Why are we boycotting Twitter? What's that all? Because Elon Musk is buying it? Does anybody know about that? Who can fill me in here? Billy, Billy, fill me in on this, please. I don't understand. There was an owl here this morning, guys, and there was something else in the creek. Mom. I don't know where my mom is. Dude, there's an owl. It was a big owl. It was up on this tree here where the hawk usually sits. And it was like, whoo, 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 whoo. It was all doing that shit. And then in the creek, there was something in the creek. And me and the dog were like, whoa, because it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's exactly what it sounded like. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was like, holy shit, man. What makes that kind of a noise? Is that a frog? Making that, and loud, like a human being, bro. Like loud. What? Fuck that Bronto. Motherfucker, dude. Check this out, man. Dude's name is Bash. I heard a bunch of bills being judged on that is going to change a bunch of stuff. Dude's name is literally Bash. Bro. You guys know what I'm talking about? You guys know who Bash is? Dude's name is Bash. Five. Du bœuf là. I think it's which one was it, man? One of the videos I watched last day or two. Somebody in the government, their last name is fucking Bash, dude. And they're like in charge of everything. And it's just funny that that's the name. That's this dude's last name. Here, let me just Google it really fast. I don't know which fucking article it was, dude. Was it the Lee Camp video I was watching?
Simple but brilliant trick to cool your home in 90 seconds. Tired of hot and stuffy?
Oh, shut
I'm
up.
opposed to authoritarianism. But that doesn't really fit in this guy's like conspiracy theory. So he has to pretend that all of us are part of this one team and we work together to defend dictators. When in fact,
it wasn't
this guy,
it wasn't Lee Camp. Elites can make their own.
So, you know, they had the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And Trevor Noah opened up by making fun of how they were all at a super spreader event. and they weren't wearing masks, and they're all breathing on each other.
They're all breathing on each other.
Even the president went. So it seems like, I don't know, another massive hypocrisy from these.
Of course it is. No, it's not that video either. Oh, where did I see that? Dude's name was Bash, and I was like, dude's name is Bash, bro. Something Bash. And I don't know who it is. I'm just going to say. Huh. I don't know. I can't find him. Alan Bash? Pharmaceuticals. Alan Bash. I don't know. I don't think this is the dude, but that's funny. I found another one, dude. This is from February. What I was saying was like recent. Checkmate Pharmaceuticals appoints Alan Bash as president and CEO. Mr. Bash. Yeah, just everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Listen, guys, I am out of here. Hey, Karen, I am out of here. You guys take care. I hope you enjoyed the hour show, man. Bye now.